Story. Everything is about storytelling. When you are telling a story, you always have a beginning. There is no man on earth that doesn't have a beginning. My name is Paul-Esupofo Oriade. I want to thank God for the privilege given to me by Natitunes of this Mega Filmmaking Workshop at this time. Thank you so much for the privilege, and also I want to appreciate the Governing Council of the Sword of Excellence Drama Film University Limited. I want to appreciate the Board of Trustees of the Sword of Excellence Dunamis Ministry International, and I want to thank God for all the filmmakers I have learned from. I'm learning and I will still learn from. I want to appreciate all of you. I want to appreciate Norton Rodriguez. Thank you so much. You have been a very wonderful person of the God of Moses Entertainment US. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate that Father in the Lord, Evangelist Mike Bamiloye. I also want to appreciate the Okewos, whom at the beginning they sacrificed a lot of things to make sure that many of us are what we are today because they give back to the Lord. I'm talking about Kolawole David Okewo, from whom I learned my basic directing, and also Kolade Chegmukewo, where I went to their school. I've been to Crystalline Film Academy, I've been to Tricot Film School. I started from Mount Zion Institute of Christian Drama. To date, I'm still in touch with the school. Thank you so much, all of you. I want to appreciate the Raf Mustafa. Raf Mustafa, you're a blessing because you have blessed us so much. Even when we started at training school, you came as an encourager. I want to appreciate Jesulawa, Abiola Jesulawa, Dr. Abiola Jesulawa. I want to appreciate also I must not forget this man. He's a wonderful man, Femi Adewale, who taught us directing also when we're in Crystalline. You are a blessing to this generation, and I will not bless you in Jesus' name. I must not but also mention Shola Mike Agbola, whose book I read when I was to direct the first film. I didn't know what to do. I was reading his book and I was traveling to Abuja. I want to thank God for your life and all the people I've watched on online YouTube. I may not be able to mention everybody. I must do so much, and I want to say once again, all of you, my friend, that I've learned from you, thank you so much. Natitunes, thank God for your life. All right, well, I've been given a topic to talk about producing, and when I saw this topic, I discovered that aside our training school, I have not come across any school that I've gone to that have taught me producing. And even so far, we've only had one person who graduated in it, because we discover it's a very broad topic that maybe they don't want to. In a simple way, some people call it from script to screen, some people call it from page to stage. I'm a trained journalist, I'm a trained filmmaker, I'm a trained director, and also a media consultant. Let me quickly say this, that producing a world class will give a lot of things. So I want to recap my title to be producing a world class creative movies. Producing world class creative movie. You need to understand why you do what you do. Producing is more than just gathering camera, gathering people and say you just want to produce something. No, I want to have the objective of this training before we go into it. But at the end of this lecture, I want you to understand that don't be a producer without setting up a company, a ministry, or an organization. And when you are setting it up, make sure you register with the appropriate quarters. What I mean by that, register with the government, register your name before doing a major work. Because even our ministry do not register maybe after 10, 13 years after we have started with Corporate Affairs Commission or whatever commission in your own nation, in your own country. Please make sure you register, get your federal certificate or state awareness and state approvers. It's very, very good, because we are Christians and we must not do anything that is against the law. Okay, especially the one that is not contrary to the word of God. You understand what I mean by it? So then get licensed. Or get licensed, get professional, get to unions, association. Many of you don't even belong to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is a very big body that you need to belong to. I tell you, that's the truth. All these things, my basic training started from Amsterdam. All the people I've mentioned at the beginning, most of the people I've mentioned at the beginning, everything started from that place, because the conferences, the seminars were what built up my art and what built me up. So please get licensed, get associated, get to the union, be part of the association, because that's the only thing. And as you're setting up your company, open a corporate account, open a corporate bank account, because people don't want to associate with you when you're not really a corporate body, when you're not a team. They felt it's one-man show. Don't do one-man show. There are a lot of one-man show we need to really curb or work on. You remember, we are all independent filmmakers. Nobody's giving us a grant somewhere, but I know it's coming very soon. Just relax, it's going to come. So get a lawyer. Get a lawyer for your company. Lawyer, if you're registered as a company, if you're registered as an NGO, please get a lawyer, a good lawyer who can do the work. The essence of it, say, are we going to have cases? No. The copyright thing, you need to get it done, okay? You need to get things done. We have media lawyers, lawyers that can always be doing something to make sure that you get things done in the right direction. Also, join the association. Like I said, join the association to help you. It will help you. All right. During this pre-production, it is the time that is very long. It's the longest of all in a way at first time, but the post-production is the longest of all. I will explain that to you. Okay, now when you're talking about that, you have to look at it. What are the people I want to be involved? What kind of cast and the crew I want to work with? Look at their background. What are the success? What are the previous work they have done? You have to look at it. Then look at auditioning, because you have to do auditioning. Maybe you are contacting an agent. People, we have not done that in Nigeria, but some of us have been doing that underground. It's only that we don't call them agents. They say, bro, can you give me somebody? A lot of people have called me before. Bro, Paul, can you give me somebody that can act like this? You are professionally, you are making me to be an agent, the casting agency, because they're asking me how to do the casting and all that. So you need to look at all those things. Look at their background. Okay, who are this person? Who has their spiritual life? They are not just being eloquent. It's not just being smart. It's not just being, are they also spiritual? So that it does, you know, you are talking about kingdom thing. You can't just cast them because it's so eloquent, it's so smart. He can speak Queen English. He can speak, okay, you know, understand, it's not about that one, no. Oh, no, not be that one. Let me pick my pigeon. Forgive me. All right. So you get equipment. What are the equipment I want to use? What are the equipment I want to use? Tell me, what are the equipment you want to use? You must, you see, one of the things is that many of us don't believe in auditioning, but I want to tell you that it's not correct. Auditioning is testing you for a role. Casting is giving you the role, okay? And there is nothing like casts. Cast is cast. C-A-S-T. C-A-S-T, no S. Cast is cast. All of us at the particular point in time we make our mistakes, but you need to correct yourself and all that. So auditioning and casting must be right and must be appropriate. It must be right, it must be appropriate. What equipment to use? Think about it. What are the equipment I want to use? What are the things? Get a lot of people, get your line producer, and then I'm going to explain all those ones when I get to the types of producers. I'm going to explain this one when I get to the types of producer. So get your location recce done, your rehearsals, okay? If you have opportunity, even if they are far away, get your rehearsals. That's why not doing rehearsals, we always see during our something, even do dry run, give enough time. Don't just say you want to do this thing or quick and all that. No, even if they were cappers, even if they are just extras, you must make sure everybody is doing something. Before you start shooting, get your contract. If you're going to get a placement for maybe a known organization, a multi-level organization, a multinational organization, get your contract, sign it. Many of us don't do this one. I want to say insurance. That's why if you operate as an organization, you must have insurance. Have insurance for your workers, have insurance for yourself, have insurance for your company, have insurance for your equipment. Oh, somebody said, Brother Paul, you have started again. Well, that's been my own thinking for years. I want to do things right. That's why everybody around us, they like to do things right. To get your insurance, okay? Because in this part of the world, the highest insurance we do is for cars. And so funny. Maybe sometime life, but only people are doing life. Many of them, because it's even compulsory. Many of them don't even do the full insurance on it. So get permission from people. You need to get copyright when it's needed. Maybe on the so that every time you do things, it is original. And I want to tell you something. Go original. Dare to be different. Dare to be different. Dare to be original in everything you do. Dare to be original. Now let me quickly go into what you need to do. Your responsibility during the production as a producer. Your responsibility or your responsibilities, okay, during the production, okay, as a producer. So as a production gets on that way, you have to look at it that you need to work with the director, because immediately you give the work, you hire a director, you are giving the director a serious authority to be in charge. That's why people still fight it today. You don't need to fight it. If Femi Abraham or Femi Ota or Femi Abraham or Femi Ota directed a film that I'm a producer, is a film, a Femi Ota film. A Femi Ota film does not mean he's the owner of the film. I gave him the authority to be in charge. I give authority to give me the creative power, to give the good job, the creative thing that we can get on the job. So as a producer, you will be taught later in this training all those ones, and I don't want to go deeper into any of those ones because I'm sitting down on the producing, or I'm staying on the producing. Please permit me. I'm staying on the producing. So work with the director to make sure that you have all the creative partners on the below the line, above the line. The below the line and above the line, you have to look at it, the creative aspect, the creative people, and also the technical people. You understand? So the technical aspect, you know, those are the people, but many of us don't even know the difference between the creative people and the technical, but I won't go to that because that's not I won't be able to cover that right now. So with the director, you have to look at this, the trial, the cinematographer, or what you call photography, or we'll call DOP, what you call cinematographer, or what you call DOP. And sometimes you get to another place, you see DP, whether DOP or DP or for cinematographer. Well, they are doing a good job. But let me quickly say something. Don't call yourself a cinematographer. You have not trained or under. Just put digital cinematographer. That will save your head, okay? Because you have never operated cellular before, okay? So those are the things they talk about and all that. Thank God. Even operating higher camera of 4K, 8K and all those one, or Red camera. Red is a brand, okay, or whatever, or Alexa, whatever. And that's why I say know your equipment. You as a producer, don't say I don't know which equipment is the latest to use now. I don't know which makeup artist. I don't know. I think you will cut the hair and put it on, or you put chalk. No, you as a producer, you must know. Not even this time around of a director that knows something of everything. You must know deeply. If you don't know deeply, hire people that knows deeply. Okay, that will help you a lot. So you have to look at the trial. I'm talking about the trial that must not be broken. Okay, it's a trial. Now we talk about the director of photography. We talk about set designer and the director. This trial, don't joke with them. I'm not saying that people are not good. They are good, but these are trials that will make everybody to want to sit down and watch your film. When I talk about cinematographer, I'm talking about light is inclusive with all the devices talking about and all that. But when we talk about set designer, it's talk about aesthetics, and the creative director, we always enjoy these two people. I tell you, it's a very good thing. And if you don't know how to cast, please get casting agents or look for brethren in our midst who are very good. Call them, set it up. You can start that kind of company, I tell you. You can start it, and we will come to you and say, please, we want to do this film. Who do you think can play this role? All right, apart from in-house things, a time is coming, a generation is coming that will take things higher than the way we have taken it. We believe in the Holy Spirit, but God will help us more. Now, you know, during the production, like I said, during the production, you must, these are some of your responsibility. Before now, you have hired your line producer to make sure that he's putting things together. You have hired your line producer to put things together. He's in charge of the budget and all that. He's making a lot of things, schedules. And that is why many people confuse unit production manager to a line producer. A line producer is not somebody that produces lines or dialogues, because I see a lot of people getting it wrong. No, a line producer is someone who also in line, always calling, always. If the producer cannot there physically, he's always in line. We are moving now, we are finished now. He's always in line. That's why they call it line producer. Oh, somebody's laughing, is making jest of it. Yes, when I discovered too, I was laughing, but I knew because 2006, when we started at training school, before I started the school, I was able to go into a lot of research. I was writing a lot of universities in America who are doing media. I was writing, and I was receiving a lot of email and post letters and emails, and I was so glad that I knew so many things, but there is no expression, there is no place of expression until after that, until that 2006 till date. So you need to look at some things. During that time, you listen to advice. You have advice, you sign off on major creative decision. Okay, can we go to this? What are the things you manage as a producer? You have to manage a lot of problems. You have to manage the financial aspect of it. You have to want to look, you know, before that the production, you have looked for them. That's why I say, I forgot to mention this. during the pre-production, we can insert it. During the pre-production, you as a producer, if you cannot handle the money, you need to look for executive producers or investors who believe in the kingdom work and they're ready to invest their money also to make gain. Let me tell you something, every producer is after gain, after profit. So everybody, whether profit spiritually by winning souls or profit also by money, but I want to tell you something, I want both. I want both. Paul-Esupofo wants both. Poverty is a sickness. Poverty is a disease. I hate it all passion. Look at the kind of films we have been producing, and with low budget or no budget, if I want to call it that way, you can see that if you have more, we will do more. I tell you, if you agree with me, just let me see your thumb up of this video as you're watching. Let me see your thumb up. Okay, thank you so much for the love. So you need to supervise all the aspect of physical production throughout this production. Even if you have a production staff, like I said, if you have a company at the first place, you can do a lot of things. Make sure you see to their well-being. You are looking at the logistics of it. You manage all the logistics and make sure the production has been scheduled and everything is under budget. Don't go anything beyond your budget. Don't let anybody talk you into budget that is not there. That's one thing I like about white. If they have a budget things, if it is outside the miscellaneous, forget about it. They won't respond to it. They say, no, it's not in our budget. Sorry. Those are the things you need to look at. And I want to give you this because during the production, you can also not to be, if you have done your assignments well during production, you are not to be moving around. Because I told you at the beginning, I said production involves principal photography. That's the real shooting. At that time, as you're going on, you must ready to adapt and you must ready to adjust. That's my quote. Ready to adjust, ready to adapt. Beyond what you have written in the script, anything can change during the set. Don't you think that sometimes you have a big concept in your heart, you have a big dream in your heart, but by the time you get to location, you see a lot of things that are changing. Do you know why some of them change too much in our own? Do you know why? Many of us don't do location recce. We don't do our plannings during the pre-production. We just jump to location and we want to start shooting. It's when we get there, we're seeing the house for the first time. It's when we get there, we're looking at the background for the first time. Things are not done like that as a producer. Get your colors right. If you don't know colors, hire somebody that knows about color. If you don't know colors, hire somebody that knows colors and begin to learn on the job. Because one of the things is that you cannot be a professional in a day. If you ask me this note without not looking at my note, I can tell you everything from the beginning to the end, because I've experienced over time, both hard times and good times. Both I've seen equipment, I was enjoying equipment. I've seen places I've directed and I was like enjoying myself. But let me tell you something, if you don't pass through process, you will never learn to adapt and adjust. Don't say that's the way it is written. As it's written, you cannot change it. Yes, for sometimes you get to. I was to get a film done, and the rain started. We waited. The rain refused to stop. I said we are going to enter this rain. The actor said we are going to enter this rain. We converted what I've written down. The rain came. She entered. The following day in the evening, the rain was gathering. We now shot it. It was not as if she was inside the rain. We did the transition and the clothes dried up. So people say, wow, how do you do it? If I cannot do artificial rain, then let me wait for the real rain. Okay? Now, another thing it's just to do is that a producer must be knowledgeable. Please. Be knowledgeable. Don't be a total novice. You can learn on job, like I said. A lot of things during this time, this is when we are picturing the story by the power you have given to your director. So the director is in charge now. The director is the one looking at a lot of things. But you are looking at where the marketing strategy, where you distribute your things, where the sales will go, because you have done those ones before their production. So during the production, you don't disturb yourself. You are thinking about exhibitions, product placement. You are thinking about where you're going to put a lot of things. You are thinking about the premiere. You are thinking about in the censorship rather. Many of us don't censor our films. You need to censor your film. Please, it's very, very important, because during that pre-production, you have already planned it. You have to look at the press releases. What are the things you want to do on your press releases? Oh, what are the things I need to be involved in? Which is very, very important. You need to know that one. Now, the post-production. Okay. Now, let me quickly talk about your responsibility during the post-production. Now, during the post-production, you must be afraid more. Do you know why? You cannot correct major things that you don't put in place in the pre-production. I repeat, you cannot correct major things that you do not correct during the pre-production. Now, it will now become more difficult to correct anything that is not corrected, that is not in place during the production. So whatever is not in place during the production, you cannot fix it. A lot of people say editors will fix it. As a producer, you know what you want to do. If you don't get the right permission, if you don't get so, it can disrupt your location. So during the post-production, and I want to quickly say this, in Christian drama, I will be correcting everywhere. Don't see an editor as a separate entity of the crew. An editor is a part of the crew. So don't see them as a business person that is different, because many of us will shoot them, go and meet them in their offices. They look like a champion to us because we don't operate a media house, we don't operate a media company, we don't operate a media ministry. So that's why it becomes a problem. So let's go to your responsibility. What is expected of you as So let's go to your responsibility. What is expected of you as a producer during the post-production? Let me quickly say something. You have made all your key decisions, but more key decisions are still going to be made, especially on the sales. On the marketing strategy, on the sales and your distribution. Because whether you are distributing it, whether you are releasing on cinema, or you are going on the platform we use, maybe churches, you are going on schools, you are going to hospitals, you are going to hotels, whatever you have in your mind as a concept, okay? But one of the things I also want to correct, outreach. When people talk about outreach is not just churches. Outreach means cinemas are part of the outreaches. So I believe in cinema, I believe in a film going to cinema, I believe in enjoying a lot of things, because outreaches are part of this thing. So don't argue about that. You want to argue? No. Outreach means reaching out. In case reaching out with every means. Social media is a way to reach out and you get a lot of things done. So it's very, very important. Then producer make the key decision on that, including your advertising. You start advertising even before you start doing. You start advertising, you start you get a very strong PR. In fact, in your ministry, choose somebody that is eloquent and he will not say half truth. Somebody that will say the truth, not somebody that will exaggerate, not somebody that will tell lies so that people can watch the film. No, those are new things I learned, okay? Especially kingdom filmmakers, you must learn it. Don't give people half truth. Sometimes you see something in a jacket, you don't see it inside, and it's alarming, and it's becoming older every day. You have to be careful of that. Make sure you're not doing it the way the world are doing it. Do it in the right way of the kingdom. So you have to work on your advertising, your distribution, your release centers, and look at it very well. That's your focus. Your focus is not to sit down with editors and begin to say, editors, have you taken long shot? It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is that you want every dream you have from the beginning, your concept, your idea become a reality. That is your own, and it can make more money or win more souls. Somebody look at me. Yes, look at me. Because a good product, a good thinking, like a Toyota said, a good thinking is a good thinking, good product. So when it's good, product is good, people will always place. They want to invest more into it. And if you are God-given kingdom producer with resources, you have a God-given resources. I want to tell you something. Please do it well. And I want to tell you something as a producer. You know, from the beginning, you've done your planning. You've done your plannings. Don't make a mistake. Get every names written. You know, when I started as a continuity of script supervisor, that's another thing. You have to understand script supervisor and continuity is the same thing. There is nothing like continuity manager, okay? So please, let's remove that manager thing. It's the television station that was giving people manager, you know, they don't want anybody to feel bad about it, but it's okay. As at that time, I will always say, what's your name? I will always be chasing people, what's their name? Because if you're an organized producer, you have all the names. I could remember about 2-3 movies I've done, I've produced by the grace of God, and co-produced by the grace of God, that the continuity was not looking for the names. Everything was typed and printed out for the continuity. So the only thing is that if anything changes, we just adjust the name. Maybe the person that was supposed to play the role is not there. We just adjust the name, cancel the name, and put the new person there. That was it. Even with their phone numbers, the PM, the production manager, is supposed not to be looking and say, producer, sir, please, give me the number of something. You have printed everything. Everybody is being carried along from the beginning to the end. Now, when we are talking about producing, I have met different kind of producers in my life. In my 21 years of experience, I've seen all manner of producers. Maybe after talking about this, you will see where you fall into. I've seen people who felt cheated because they don't even understand their role. You know, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. You must understand why you are producing what you are producing, for whom are you producing, and for what purpose. If your main purpose is about soul, I tell you, money will follow you. But if your main purpose is money, well, if you fail one time, you'll be frustrated. I saw a friend who spent nothing less than 2 million on a production. He even went to cinema. Maybe you have about 2 people at first day, or you have about 10 people in all in this city of Ibadan. We're very, very frustrated. So if your mindset is about money, if you do it once and you don't make it, you do it second time, you don't make it, you may be frustrated. So please get it right from the beginning. Now, there are types of producers, not just type. There are different kinds of producers. There are different types of producers. In fact, that is why when you are seeing the movie credits, like I said, you have typed them, you see a lot of producers, you will see a long list of different kind of producers. And you say, they have not finished. This thing is tired. Sometimes they make it tiny so that you don't read. But that's why in the industry they belong to, in the association they belong to, those names are already written. They have already submitted it. So you don't need. It's not for you to see it. It's not for you to know whether your name is there already. You know your name is there. You understand? Like in Nigeria, thank God the way we do it in Nigeria, we make it clear. See, Emini, see my name, that's my name. See that, daddy's name, that is mommy's name. Oh, you know, and that is one thing. So, what is we need to do, but we rarely do it. We don't make our vision clear. There could be 3, 4, 5 producers on a film. There could be 3, 4, 5 producers in the film. There could be joint producers. Let's go. So, there are many of us also, you know. As a producer, you need to understand this, because producing encompasses a range of roles. In some cases, one person wears all the hats. But in most cases, I tell you, do the division of labor, delegated authority. Divide the work so that your head will not. I remember there was a time I was shooting, I was the one directing, I was the one producing, I was the one acting the main role, and the camera was set up, they put on the light, and they say action. I even call a brother, please help me to just say action. And I say action. Thank God for his life, but our Bishop Emmanuel Akinshola. I said action, and the man was saying action. I was looking at this, but Paul, action. I said, people have not eaten, they're outside. So all my mind was not on my lines. It was some people that have not eaten. Then I suppose, what am I doing before the camera? I supposed to leave somebody else to do that role. Don't force yourself because you're the president of ministry to be in the lead role. Those are the things we need to get out of this thing. Get it out on time. Don't force yourself because you're the one that wrote it and said nobody can do it better. A lot of people that can do it. Don't do search. You know, I don't know how to interpret this one. Maybe we will try to translate it for you. You be the original, okay? Original, new Jekaria Buki Okere. I don't know how to say that. But if you dig deep, you will see a lot of creative people that can do that role. So I will talk from the common ones. The roles that need to be divided and shared evenly among your members or among your people or different people. You can even invite somebody that's not a member of your ministry at all to be part of the producer, because that's another thing you don't know. You can invite your friends, you can invite your relatives, you can invite somebody that from another ministry that can be part of the producer. So you say, Brother Paul, hey, now let's hear me. Number one that is very common, the most common all of us talk about is what? Executive producer. Oh, you say executive producer because these are the people, the ego, the investors. That in fact, anytime a producer can get an executive, a good executive who will contribute massively, a huge sum of their money. Wow, you see the producer just smiling. The cars are there, logistics are in place, transportation in place, welfareism is intact. You just say executive producer doesn't appear in the location. They don't. If they come, they just want to greet you, and they greet you, and just maybe they just want to come and just do something. All they need is that they always earn the very top credit in the film. Why? They are the one that put the money down. Thank God for many of us as Christian filmmakers, we put our money down. Sometimes we have put our resources in people. You know, in Christian drama, everybody's using executive producer. I told the person I used to edit for, I said, henceforth put my wife and myself. Now, you know, and I said put my wife there because I discovered a lot of money we're supposed to use to eat at home is being put in the movie. Where is the essence of saying, okay, put my wife, and not only my wife. If I discover that some of the members of the ministry at that moment, at that production, they also contribute immensely, I say put their name and say, but that's the convention. No, there is no convention about it. It's not father and mother and their children. Executive producer is not an honor. It is what you have done. But majorly in the Christian drama, we give it as an honor. It is honor, because sometimes our leaders don't give us 1 naira. They don't give us shishi. But because you are using their logo and they say, let's put executive, executive producer. What did he give you? Nothing. And when they're talking about executive producing, it's not only on cash. There are some things they give. They make houses available. They make a lot of things available that in costing, it could cost a lot of money. So don't think as an executive producer, me, I don't have money to give to my Paul. But do you know you can get your logistics right? You can give the driver, you can give your cars, you can give your bosses, and everything they needed for that location. You are provided houses as a location. You can give that as an executive producer. In fact, absolute one. Even you have given your caterers to cook for them. Wow, those are the things. And you know, a lot of people. Let me quickly say this. One of our team members just reminded me of something that's very, very good. That executive producer is supposed not to be one person, but in census board, I fought it because I only saw one. They said a company cannot be executive producer. It has to be human being. It has to be one person or 2 people. And I did this logic. Let me tell you something. I will tell you the secret. I did this logic. They don't want to see, and I know that many of us, as executive, all the executive producer in Christian or kingdom filmmaking, is a joint contribution. Is a joint. If I were you, you can put all the names of those people that contributed. It's not a sin. Okay. What did I do? They now say you are the president. Now put your name. I said no, don't let me put my name. I want to put the name of the ministry. You know what I did? I put my name. And I put the name of the ministry. I put, especially for the broken dream, when I want to censor it, I put my name. I put the name of the ministry under. I put the brother's name. I put the name of his ministry under. Why? I just want that name to appear. When they saw it, they saw the name, they forgot the rest. That's what I did. I must confess to you. That's what I did. I said, okay, but they should allow, the government should allow that an organization should be executive producer. Because if the shell, even if the shell gives you money, they will not put Shell. They will put the managing director or the CEO or whatever to put their name there. I say, wow, okay, you have your point, but I also have my point. But let's go. Those are the things you need to go. Then they are financing something that are conditions, terms and conditions. Okay? If your executive producer is giving terms and conditions you can maintain, go for him. If it's giving terms and conditions you cannot maintain, please, I beg you, go away. Run for your dear life so that you don't go. If you're after soul and it's after money, 2 of you are not having the same vision. But it's after soul first and it's also after money, because there's no way you invest your money, you don't want to get it back. That will not be good. All right? That is why as a producer, if you are producing something, you must make it of a quality and of high standard. That's why I call it a world-class creative movies. If it's a world-class creative movies, people always look for it. People, even ordinarily mentioning the name of your ministry alone, they are running to it. Because during the pre-production, you have the cap, you have the t-shirt, all those ones are planned for. It's not just overnight. Several times, many of us are overnight, or they call it a guerrilla approach. Nigeria do guerrilla approach, which is okay. And all that. So all the legal issues, contracts and release dimension, you have signed it during your what? Pre-production. Okay, and if anything is changing, adapt it. Let's go to the next producer. The next producer is the producers. The first one is executive producers. All right, executive producers. Don't forget, producers. Producer. So it can be many, it can be anything, but don't just give honor to your president of ministry. And I always say something, the work of directing is not automatic work of a president of ministry. All right, it's not because he's the owner of the ministry you have to say he has to direct. If he doesn't know anything how to direct, let somebody raise somebody up in your ministry to be doing it. Okay, in our ministry now, a lot of people are directing. Sometimes I even say, okay, direct, let's go direct. Okay, and sometimes I'll give them, okay, go and direct this thing, and I'm seeing a good work. All right, producers. The producers work actively on set, before the set and after the set. They also go liars around. They want to get everything done. So where other people are working on field, they are making other things, they are pressing the button, they are making everything is good and all that. They are overseers of productions. They are the one that are managing business operation. They are the one. They are, in fact, from start to finish, from script to screen, they want to get everything. They work in close collaboration with the director. They work as a partnership. They work as a friend. The best friend a producer or producers must have is a good director or directors. But I always tell people, always have one director. Always have one director. If there is not at all, we may have associate director, maybe from in-house, maybe from the producers. It's always good, but don't have somebody that's not your friend as a director. You will keep on fighting. Then don't I forgot to say that during the pre-production. Let me quickly record that one. During the pre-production, please do your production meetings. Get familiar with everybody. Don't let them look like a stranger. Gather your friends, not your enemies, not people that will stop the work. The more you argue during the production, the slower the work becomes. Then the work will not be great. The work will not be great at the end of the day because of too much argument and all that. Don't argue on the script. Settle everything in your pre-production. Let's go back now to the producer. You must do a work and all that. So the next one is line producers. I've told you about line producers, and now you will understand the line producer because he has, especially it can be line producers. It may not have one. It could be line producers. Somebody is on this one, especially if you have simultaneous shooting. Maybe you are shooting Nigeria, you are shooting Australia. Like during this COVID-19, I have to travel, maintaining the social distance. We have to shoot in our house. We have to transfer it. So somebody must be overseeing that one, and somebody must be overseeing that one. So you must be responsible. These are your responsibilities of breaking down the script to create line items in the project. You are not just being in line, you also look at it. Oh, is this done according to budget? Oh, is this done according to planning? Okay, what are the production timeline? Okay, are we coordinating? Okay, you are working so seriously with the PM. Okay, so you have to look at it, the schedule, the activities of each of them. Look at them. How do they handle the human resources? How they handle other resources, especially resources in general. You must make sure to manage them. This is a very serious work. I'm praying one day God will give me a line producer and I will have peace. In fact, line producers, because when you have a line producers, the work becomes easier. Okay, it becomes easier. The next one is creative producers. You have not had that one before. What are you doing since all these years? Creative producers. Okay, let's go. Creative producers, these are real partners closely with the directors on artistic matters. They are very close. I'm telling you. When I see what our dear sister was writing in one of the master classes online, I look at what Judy has done, and I say, if Judy can do this, if Judy Foster can do this and get some things, we have a better things we do in Africa. We are very, I tell you, we are very creative people. Africans are very creative. Okay, please don't let our story be the same thing. Our story, conventional father, mother, and children. As a producer, I don't want to see that all the time. Who is producing for the children? Who is producing for the teenagers? Who is producing for the youth? Who is producing for? Who is doing animation? Who is doing kingdom cartoons? Okay, let's go to something. Creative people. These people, they are all there. Whether you bring them up as a brethren or they are highly talented, highly creative. They supervise script revisions. They look at some things. They communicate. Director knows. They coordinate the unified style approach in between the departments. Each department, light department. They see all these things. They are very good. I tell you, creative producers. In fact, in our ministry, let me say, most of the people that surrounded me, I think they are creative producers. Because sometimes, as a producer, you just pour your mind down. They just say, no, sir, don't you think we can arrange it this way? That's true. Those are creative producers. But maybe you are doing that in your ministry, you don't know. You are a creative producer. If your name is Sam, you say, I'm not the producer, what am I producing? But you always align things right. Okay, that's how you see the list is always on. Now, the next one is the showrunners. The showrunners are television producers who have an overall creative vision for series, especially for a series like Teen Cell, like Agbaranla, like those ones and all that, and can have authority and management responsibility over the various directors who have been hired for specific episodes. So for them, it's a television station. And I always say something, when you're studying TV production, it's different from film production, please. Brethren, these are different things. So if you have gone to film a television production, if you have studied television production, don't mix it up with the film production. They have similarities, but the way they operate, like I said, television, you know what it means. It has to be in a media full house, and that's what they do. They do entertainment, they do soap, they do a lot of things. You as a filmmaker, you can do the same thing with a different thing. The next one is the co-producers. The next one is co-producers and associate producers. I will not be going to English because I know a lot of drama ministers like us to separate English. Associate producers, co-producers, some is assistant producer. What is the meaning? These are the people to help they are to help majorly with fundraising. They go around to look for money. They source for money, because remember I told you the producer will go and source money. Some people are good, they are very eloquent, they oversee the specific area of production, and they also share duties with their lead producer. You are the lead producer if you're going to produce it, but you have to support some people. You don't know everybody, you can't know everybody. There are some people, they are your associate producer, they are the one looking for everywhere, and say, okay, I have my uncle, he can give us 50,000. Oh, I have my brother, he can give you 100,000. Oh, I have this one, he can give you $5,000. Oh, let's go. You understand? Those are the kind of producer and all that. Another one that is not common in Nigeria is impact producers. Impact producers. These are also known as an engagement strategist, a producer of marketing and distribution. We need these people. They are business people to the core. Many of us are too religious. Many of us are too religious for me. Because when we talk about money, we say, don't go to the world. The world is crashing. No. Don't be sentimental about that. Look for people they can. I've been praying for years that the Lord will give me impact producers. Their focus is getting the word out, attracting press and media coverage, finding a distributor to get the film in front of any audience as possible. They want to get to that. Oh, any consumer in the world, they just want to get it. And a field producer. Field producer. Who is a field producer? A field producer is someone or a person who assists the producer in production that takes place in a non-studio location. Most of the films you have seen, like Disney and all that, they are studio. These are studio. When they talk about studio, I'm sorry, in Nigeria, that your studio is not studio, man. It's a shop. Oh, forgive me, I said it. Oh, it's a shop. Sorry, I said it again. It's a shop. Hey, sorry. What did I call it? Oh, sorry. Give me one now. Please forgive me. This is not studio. What they call studio? Have you seen Tyler Perry studio? Have you seen Disney studio? When you say studio is not just one room. It's not one padded room and say studio. When you say studio, when you call your company studio, means it's a film village. Film village, a massive one, 250 hectares of land. Hectares. I'm not talking about acres. Hectares. That you have everywhere. You have police station, you have swimming pool, you have village, everything you have there. God is giving about so many people. About you that you're watching me right now. If you believe it, God is giving it to you. Because I've received it, all my members have received it, and we have it. Because let us say you have about 6 plots, everybody's having a lot of things, and we are having about things, and they are not building choco house, you know, I better pass my neighbor house. Okay, all right, to say rapport. Don't worry, you will see by the grace of God. So in TV, a video producer who works remotely to assist in production of a piece of an overall production. So they are only assist. You understand? To make sure that this is not a location, they go outside. You don't understand? They go to a remote place to assist, to make sure the work is done, and that is that on that. Now, finally, I want to talk about how to be a producer. How to be a producer. I've told you what a producer should do, but how do you become a producer? A producer is someone who has a passion, whose purpose is found in making people happy and making them to find their purpose too, in order to connect them with the Father in heaven. How? Through Jesus Christ our Lord. If the essence of you producing a film, a Christian film, is not for redemption, then what are you doing Christian filmmaking? Alright? Are you touching areas of nation building? Are you touching areas that is very important? So as a producer, you must learn the skill. If you don't have the skill, you cannot become a producer without experience, but you can learn on the job. You need to become a producer, you need experience. In that, most times you need to go around a lot of things, especially in creative industry. You need to understand a lot of things. Some producers, they started as an actor. Many of them, they are acting for years. After some time, I've seen that in Nigeria a lot. Some of them, they are experienced screenwriters, script writers. Some of them are experienced directors. Some of them they are studio executives or leaders in ministries, and they have been doing some things. So, but you have to look at some things, because as a producer, you must have this type of education, whether you learn it by self-development. Thank God for YouTube these days. You can go on YouTube and do a lot of things on YouTube, I tell you. But the only thing I tell you, on YouTube will not give you experience. YouTube can give you knowledge, but it will never give you experience. You need to go on the field to get the experience, okay? And please, when you are doing something on YouTube, I'm a social media strategist, okay? Let me tell you something. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube. Don't believe everything you see. Some people are there to confuse people intentionally. They produce movies they produce articles or tutorials to confuse you. Please don't believe in them. Look at the credibility. That's why I don't just go anywhere I started with Google search. I started with Yahoo search when I started. So I don't go just to watch anything on YouTube. It has to be credible people. So you as something you must learn. Either you go to film school, or also, I must say this, every producer, whether you're a Christian producer, you're making it for the kingdom, or you want to make it for the nation building or commercial, please go to business school. And during this time, we have a lot of UDIP free training, futurelearn.com. You can go to futurelearn.com and learn some things freely. All right, go to business school, because filmmaking is business. Somebody said, thank God, I've been expecting Brother Paul to say this thing. Yes, filmmaking is business. For me, it's a kingdom business. And I want to make both souls and money, because I need money to forge ahead, to make everybody to hear what we are doing. Okay? And I also need souls so that I can get a reward in heaven. All right? And I love to receive dividend on everybody's work. Do you know what I mean by that? I want to be of help. I want to render my help. I want to assist. That's why when people call me, can you talk in our seminar? I want to help them, because I want to be of help. And one of the things I will tell you is that your best teacher is the Holy Spirit. But to be a best director, to be a best producer, is from your field of experiences. Experiences. Let me put that way. What experiences? You must have. You come for your experience on film production. We start with short film. Okay, don't give yourself a potential. Just produce a film and put producer. Write your name. Go again, do another film, do this. Brother Femi, you have forgotten this tape. When we used to use tape, they have forgotten the tape, and we have to go 2 hours. Sometimes the tape just finished, we are inside the bush, all of us have to wait. Sometimes the battery will finish. I think we have experienced that one recently so much. The battery will finish, there is no light, you've charged it very fully, and people are just say take 1, take 2, take 3, and sometimes if you know you don't have, that's why during your pre-production, you must have prepared for those ones. And please, you need to know this if you're going to become a producer. Always have a passion to make quality films, excellent films. That's how to become. If you always like to see something different you want to do for Christian film, yes, you're a producer. So please desire it, have it. That's your job as a producer. So, and it will help you a lot. Have a strong. Can you believe it? I'm doing project management as a course right now. Project management. Go and learn it. Have this dynamic, strong project management skill, organizational skill. You don't just shout on people, because Brother Paul's voice is loud already, and it looks like the police. When you shout on people, some people will never come to your location again. Say, that brother is just shouting on us. So you have to develop your character. They have a business experience too, maybe in other things. Management experience. You have to know the organogram, the CEOs, the middle class, the middle management, the bottom management, upper management. You have to understand those things. Get grants. Get grants if you can get loans. Somebody say, hey, Brother Paul, say no. Yes. If you want to become a producer, get loans. What I mean by loans, there is no way, it's not a sin to get loan, as much as you know that what you're about to invest into, you get the money back. But if you cannot, please don't go near it. Be persistent and be consistent. That's the key. That's the rule of the game. That's the rule of the game. Just keep on. Just continue following your passion. Be calm under pressure. Ability to absorb. Absorber. Somebody told me some people's shock absorber has gone down. Some people don't have it at all. When you do it, sometimes I've done some things like that, and I will just go inside and pump my absorber. When I pump it, I come out and say, okay, I'm ready. I'm sorry. I always learn to say sorry. I always like to say sorry, because I know that I can kill my pride easily when I say sorry. So you learn those things. Make sure you learn those things, and don't put yourself unnecessarily under subjection of lies. And some of the things I want to say to you. Let me give you these keywords. Start to get the experience. Pay yourself as a producer. Keep saving for the future. Start small. All right? Start small. Know your business well. True. Work with the right people. Consult people ahead of you. All right? Get right team. Sustainable model. Get the sustainable model. Also, make sure you are always around people with clear vision and clearer vision, so that you don't get problem. Be clear about what you want, and be a problem solver. As a producer, you are a problem solver. Whatever you are producing is solving a problem. For us as a kingdom maker, we are solving the problem of vices, and people must know Christ. People must be developed. People must people must be built up as a child of God. People must understand why they do what they do, and people must move closer to God and develop a personal relationship with God. I want to say this: there are a lot of opportunities you can get for yourself. Add value to people by your movies. Add values to your people. Add wisdom. Add knowledge to your people. Let people be sound mind. Give them sound mind. Give them good counsel through your movie. Don't just go up and down. Mentor people with your movie, okay? And do a lot of things. As finally, I would say there are primary brand in filmmaking. Build fresh professionals, people who have passion. Give them opportunities as a producer. Don't say, how many films have you acted before? Have you acted in this film before? Have you acted with Monzayon? Have you acted with Paul? No, we don't know. You are not popular. It's not about popularity. It's about doing the things rightly. When you do it rightly, you get a good result. Finally, and my final advice, as a producer who wants to be producing consistently, continuously, and persistently, please start with short film. You can start with 1 minute film. You can start with from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20, 30, 1 hour. Then you can go to series. Don't have to kill yourself because you don't have some things right now. Start with what you have and be a problem solver. Not just a problem solver, a kingdom problem solver. I want to appreciate you. I remain Paul-Esupofo Oriade. Don't forget, don't just be creative. Stay creative and be a person of creativity. Make sure you go out there to produce a world-class creative movies that will change life, that will bring redemption, that will bring information, education, and ultimately to evangelize the life of people. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Till another time, I want to say God bless you. See you soon.